Welcome to Subramani. This is a topic which I have done many times, and I keep getting asked this question time and again in public forums, in Twitter, on Twitter, or whatever. The question is, Subra, I know how to pick stocks. Subra, I know how to pick mutual fund schemes. Okay, that theme remains the same. Do I need a financial advisor? The question is not whether you know to pick stocks or whether you know to pick mutual fund schemes. The question is, do you know how to handle the whole thing holistically? So what are the things which are necessary? First is organizing your investments. So very many people, including people who have advisors, may not have done the very simple task of making sure that all the spellings in all the government documents, in all the investments that you make, are perfectly in line with each other, right? A puja can be Puja or Pooja, right? So getting all those things, of course, people don't make such a mistake, but Vishwanath with a V in between or Vishwanath with a W in between, it is different in the PAN card, it is different in the Aadhaar card. So first get that ready, right? So I'm just telling you the things which you need to do. If you are DIY, it suits me, it doesn't matter. I'm not looking to manage your AUM. Somebody else wants to do it, let them do it. If you think they deserve it, that's completely not my area. But yes, first is get your name properly organized. Second, get your documents well organized. Whatever you have invested so far, take an audit and see where you stand. Where are the documents lying? Some pension plan document is lying in the office drawer, something is lying in your wife's cupboard, something is lying in your cupboard, something is lying in your child's room because you didn't bother to put everything in one place. See how much of it can be held electronically. Today almost every investment can be held electronically. Have you done this? If you have not done this, well, score yourself a negative mark, right? Then just check out on all your accounting, right? How much is your income, how much is your expense, what are you doing, right? Calculate some of the ratios. What is the ratio of investments that you're doing compared to your earning, right? Just calculate, just have fun doing it, right? Make sure that you have a will properly drafted. Make sure that you have communicated your wealth and what you have done, why you have a term insurance. If your wife doesn't know and she gets the money and she goes and buys a term insurance with that, or sorry, she buys an endowment insurance with that for herself, it may not be the most appropriate way to do it. So tell your family what you're doing, why you're doing, how they should handle if you are not there, right? Communicate with your family. Have you done all this? So all these things are the part of your financial planning. I don't want to use words like holistic, but yeah, you look at words like holistic, look it up and see, yes, everything has to be covered. Make sure that your housing documents are right, your nomination is right. Believe me, this is very boring, and make sure that you are at least comparing yourself to the index, or you pick up 2-3 good fund managers and see where you are. If a fund manager is getting you 17% and you're getting 12, it is just not justified that you try doing it on your own. Or if, let's say, the index is at 16, the fund manager is getting 15.8 or 16.2, you're getting 11 or 12, at least go into an index fund. I don't like this thing of saying, I will not learn, I think I know, and I will do it on my own. I will not benchmark, and I will not seek help. This is a disastrous combination. Don't do this. You don't want to seek help, make sure that you're doing the right job, right? Put yourself against benchmarks, compare, see how you're doing. Then you feel happy, then who's there to comment? Why should anybody say what you should do? You have to decide what you want to do, right? Have you taken adequate, have you optimized your insurance cover, your medical insurance, your life insurance, your critical illness, whatever you want to take? Some people take burglary insurance. I am not taking burglary insurance. My building is insured by the society, so there is nothing inside my house which is worth insuring. So that's not insured. But I had life insurance. Now I don't have life insurance. There's nobody dependent on me. My daughter has started earning. My wife has enough money to retire, so I don't have any more term insurance now. But I had it some time back, right? Make sure that you have an adequate emergency fund, especially if you're an equity guy. or equity girl, the chances are that you will not bother too much about keeping an emergency fund, because cash looks like a drag. Boss, इसमें तो कुछ return नहीं है. There's no return in this money. So why should I keep cash? Well, somebody has to put all that discipline into you, and that a financial advisor can do, or maybe you can do it yourself, right? So I have seen, hold your horses, believe it or not, I have seen somebody with a very poor CIBIL score wanting to invest money, and I said the best investment you can make is perhaps repay all your loans, and definitely your high interest loan as much as possible of the mortgage, and keep improving your credit score. This is very difficult to believe when somebody comes and tells you that I've got 50,000 rupees to invest, and you say, okay, how much is your latest bill? Oh, my bill was 33,000, but I paid 1,800. That is it. The minimum to pay was 1,800, so that's what I paid. If people don't know that they have to pay their credit card in full, these are not the greatest of people for advising. Yes, he may or she may be able to pick stocks. That does not mean, it does not mean that because you know to pick stocks, you know how to manage your money. They are two completely different things. If you did not have an emergency fund, for example, you will sell your shares in distress, and that would be perhaps the worst time to sell. If you have bought them ad hoc, you don't even know whether it is time to sell a pharma share or is it time to sell a metal stock, right? You don't know. You've just bought it ad hoc. You've not created a portfolio. You've not done portfolio sizing. You've not compared your portfolio to the index. If you've done nothing of this, you've just bought, it's a Dobie's list that you have, that you're saying, oh, I got some Titan, I got some, why did you have Titan? Oh, Rakesh Jhunjhunwala bought. I have this Coromandel International, why? Because Subra mentioned in a blog. I mean, this is ridiculous. You don't, the greatest thing about Rakesh's investment or Rakesh's characteristic of while investing, or whether it is Vallabh Bansali or even myself, I'm pale figure of those people, but I'm just putting myself. We've all held shares for a very long time. Can you hold it for 20 years, 25 years, 30 years? That is the question to ask yourself. Will you get perturbed when something happens? Ask yourself that. Those are questions which are difficult to answer. And in a bull run, everybody looks like an expert. Oh, I know what to buy. I know how to buy Titan, I have to buy XYZ, I have to buy HDFC Bank, Asian Paints. Who told you? Marcellus told us. Who told this? Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. Oh, Vallabh Bansali came and he said this. Manish Chokani said this. So, well, fantastic. I have got a complete celebrity portfolio and I have no clue where the portfolio is going. This is not portfolio management, guys. And looking at your portfolio 10 times a day is not portfolio management. Creating the portfolio, and if you can't create the portfolio, index it. If you don't want to index it, if you think it's too boring, copy the index for weightage. You will know how much weightage to give for each industry, for each company, how to diversify across groups, across geographies, across industries. You need all that kind of a diversification. Is it difficult? No. Is it interesting? Reasonably, yes, but very interesting? No. If you have to spend a lot of time and you don't like doing it, then don't do it. Then just index it, right? Making sure that your PF, PPF, etc. are properly transferred, right? Your PPF is 15 years old extended, or 20 years old and extended. Make sure that the documentation is right. Make sure that you have adequate medical insurance, whether you should have a regular insurance, a top up, a super top up. I have no clue. I completely go by my advisor. Advisor says itna bada do, main bada deta hu. I don't really know why, what and all, but I now know I have adequate cover. Other than that, I don't need to know, because my advisor, I have two advisors, one female and one male, and both of them really know the business inside out. I don't know, right? So I use an advisor, I use a broker, I use a mutual fund advisor, I use all of them. I don't want to do it, that's all. It's not that I don't know to do it, I don't want to do it. A lot of things I do. I mean, when I needed to make a will, I called up a friend who's a lawyer and said, I want this done, and I went to his office and got it done. Could I have done it myself? Perhaps. I know where to get it notarized and all that, but I said you might as well go to him. So he did it for me, so my will is ready, right? So don't ignore all those things. Don't ignore your health insurance, medical insurance, knowing how to withdraw money from an emergency fund. Where should the emergency fund be kept? All these are not going to be very easy for people. So if you know all this, then yes, you don't need a financial advisor. Just because you can pick stocks, oh, I'm damn decent at picking stocks, especially for investing in the long run. I'm not a good investor, but I'm not a good trader. I'm a good, better investor. But does it mean I know financial planning? Maybe yes, because I've studied, I've taught all that. Do I want to do it? Answer is no. I don't want to do it. So I get somebody else to do it, right? So it's important that knowing is not important. Will you do it? That's the question to answer. Bye. Thanks.